What's going on, y'all? So Charles, man, was pretty much talking about, for Ja to take that next step, he got to be able to make the players around him better. He got to pretty much think and do as a real point guard. Let me tell y'all something. The way this game has gone, has evolved to, your point guards have to get buckets. And one thing John Morant does is get buckets. When you looked at games that he missed, did the Memphis play together as a team? Yes. But when it was time to close out the games, when it was time to do what needed to be done, wasn't going to be able to do it. They knew Memphis wasn't going to have no chance with Golden State unless John Morant was on the floor. John Morant brings the attention on the floor. So players like Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bain can get theirs. John Morant can go 40-50 on any given night, right? People said the same thing about Kobe. Kobe got 5 championships. You don't know, people always on the outside looking in, right? People didn't really start appreciating Kobe till they really start getting to the inside and others talked about him. And you see, it's the cold thing about it is the media and everybody talked about how Kobe don't make nobody better, yada, yada, yada. But players who played with them, players that played against him, respected him. Everybody looked up to him because of his approach to the game. That alone can get players better. Just by Kobe's work ethic is alone that got players better. You think John Morant got that good without no work ethic? Talent is cool, but for you to get buckets in the way that he get buckets, you got to put in the work. Now, John Morant can sometimes hush that mouth sometimes because I seen his response, right? That's the response that'll get your ass whooped, right? But we know Chuck ain't about to whoop nobody's ass, though. But John do be a little loose at the mouth. But that doesn't take away that he get buckets. Is Memphis a better team without John Morant? No. There's a whole bunch of teams that got star point guards on their team right now, and they would love to have John Morant. But they would just roll with 2 point guards. So no, John Morant's presence alone gets everybody better, and they allowed to get theirs. Because I'll tell you like this, Desmond Bain definitely wouldn't be doing what he was doing if he was the main attention. So for John Morant to have the attention that he commands allows for these others to go ahead and get theirs. It's not the NBA is not where, the John Stocktons, the Chris Pauls, Zaya Thomas, Magic Johnsons, them point guards, Rondos, them point guards are done for, right? You see, the only way Chris Paul is still on it, because Chris Paul can get buckets when he want to get buckets, though. Yes, Chris Paul is a real point guard, but Chris Paul can also get buckets. See, that's one thing people fail to realize with Chris Paul. Yeah, Chris Paul may have a game where he may have 10 points, 20 assists, you know what I mean? But Chris Paul will also have a game where he didn't drop 30-something on you, though. So the game is for bucket getters, especially the game where it's more about offense and less defense. If you can't put the ball in the hoop, you're not about to have any success. So no, I disagree with Charles Barkley, His leadership skills, though, don't really know to a certain extent. You'll be able to know, especially when he'll get into more games and such as he did in the playoffs, though. But for Memphis to get right there and for him to push and have them players fired up, man, we got to understand, man, the mind of these players today is not the mind of the players back then, right? So the mind of the players today, of course, he's not going to be informative in certain aspects of the game, but they approach the game with joy. And when you see John Morant, he brings joy to the locker room. He brings joy to the game out there hitting the gritty and stuff. They out there having fun grittying, man. Come on, man. You got to have that joy, that spirit, that likeness about you, you know? Of course, you're not going to have the approach as Kobe. Kobe was business-like minded. And quite frankly, if Kobe had that approach with today, I don't think the modern-day NBA player will be able to accept that. I think they will reject that because a lot of these NBA players are soft, right? So as far as Ja Morant, he's in the perfect time. The modern NBA player, which you need to get buckets, you know? So as Ja continues to grow, he'll learn that, you know, there might be some sacrifices that he need to make because he's going to want to win. And we've seen his pops, and we know his pops was on him. He looked like the type to be up on him. You know pops be on him. You know? So, you know what I'm saying? So, winning, you know, the sacrifices that he gonna have to do that. He gonna make it. Just continue to let him to grow. He done came a long way since he first got in the league. But we all knew the talent was there. He just got to continue to grow. We be acting like these players are supposed to have it the first couple of years. Man, it takes time to grow in a certain type of role. You know? So let him get seasoned. He'll get seasoned. You know? When the games matter, when it's time to end the game, who will have the ball in his hand? Ja Morant. And we're going to judge him about does he close them games out or not? Does he rise to the occasion or not? When his team need a spark, does he do what he have to do? That's when we going to know. Especially in the playoffs this year, because we know the Memphis Grizzlies going to make the playoffs. And why do they make the playoffs? Because of Ja Morant. Memphis ain't really been relevant since Zebo and Marc Gasol. So, no, I disagree with Charles Barkley. So, we just got to accept it and look at the NBA the way it is and look at what this man brings to the table. And I know a whole bunch of other teams, man, who would love to have somebody like Ja Morant on their team. But that's all I had to say, y'all. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. We up out of here.